So for this section and for the test that we have coming up next week, make sure you are using the calculator, the same calculator that you use for the homework. Make sure that's the one you're going to use for the test, because you want to be sure that you know how to use your calculator. So first thing we have to do is put this in our change of base formula. So what's going to go on the top? Log of 19. Remember, the base stays on the bottom. So 2 is our base. Base is on the bottom. So what goes on the bottom? Log of 2. So then we just put this into our calculator. So it'll be log 19. Make sure you close the parenthesis if you do it all at once, divided by log 2. So that should give us 4.2479, but it says round to the nearest thousandth, which is 3 decimal places. So if I round this to 3 decimal places, 9 tells me I have to round up or keep it the same. I round the 7 up, so it'd be 4.248. All right, let's look at number 2. What's going to go on the top? Log 1 divided by log 7. So then when we put this in our calculator, we should get 0. So 0 is our answer here. Then for number 3, which one goes on the top?
24.
So log 24 divided by log 4. So we put this into our calculator. So we should get 2.2924. The 4 tells us we round up or stay the same? Stay the same. So it'll be 2.292. All right, let's take a look at number 4. So here we are condensing each expression into a single logarithm. So what's the first thing I should do for number 4? Anybody? Move the 4. So the 4 becomes our exponent. And then what else? Move the 20. So 20 becomes our exponent. So now I have log base 3 of u to the 4th power plus log base 3 of v to the 20th power. What else do I have to do? Group them. What goes with addition? Multiplication. So I condense it to a single logarithm. So I have log base 3. And then what's going to come next? u4 times v20. Perfect. That's our answer. So you could put these in parentheses if you wanted to. You could put the little multiplication symbol if you wanted to. It all means the same thing. Bless you. Any questions here? All right, let's look at number 5. What's the first thing I should do? Move the 8 up top. And what else? Move the 2 up top. So I have log base 7 of x to the 8th power minus log base 7 of y to the 2nd power. And then what else should I do? What does the minus mean? Divide. So what am I going to divide? Perfect. So I start with the log base 7. That always just stays the same. And then I divide x to the 8th power by y squared. So that's my answer. What should I do first for number 6? Move the 6 and the 2. So I have log base 8 of 2 to the 6th power plus log base 8 of 3 to the 2nd power. What should I do next? Combine them. What goes with addition? multiplication. So I start off with the same log and the same base, so log base 8. And then what comes next? Perfect. So log base 8 of 2 to the 6th power times 3 to the 2nd power. And we can just leave it like that. You could multiply it out, but we're just going to leave it because most of the time it'll be variables where we can't multiply it out. So if you multiplied it, like if you did 2 to the 6th power and 3 to the 2nd power, it'd still be right. It's just going to give us a big number. So, all right, number 7. What should I do first? Move the 6 and move the 12. So log base 4 of x to the 6th power plus log base 4 of y to the 12th power. And then what goes with addition? Multiplication. So I keep the log base 4 the same. And then what comes next? So x to the 6th power times y to the 12th power. So last condensing. Notice how we've done the same thing every single time. Just sometimes it's addition, sometimes it's subtraction. So either multiply or divide. What's the first thing we should do? Move the 4 and move the 20. So this is log base 2 of a to the 4th power plus log base 2 of b to the 20th power. What goes with addition? Multiplication. So I have log base 2 of a to the 4th power, and then what comes next? Times b to the 20th power. So when we expand our logarithm, every time we break it up, each term gets its own log. What goes with multiplication? Addition. So I'm going to break it up. I have log of 8 to the 3rd power plus, what comes next? Log 5 squared. Here we don't have a base, but it's fine. We just keep that log each time. And then what should I do next? What would I do with my exponents? So when I condensed it, I brought them to the top. But when I'm expanding, I move them to the front. So this should be 3 log 8 plus 2 log 5. So 10 is division. What goes with division? Subtraction. So I start with log base 5. You always start with the one on top. So a to the 5th power. Then minus, because we said it's subtraction. What comes next? Log base 5 of b to the 3rd power. Perfect. Every time we break it up, each thing needs its own log. And then what's the last step? We move the exponents to the front. Perfect. So it'll be 5 log base 5 of a minus 3 log base 5 of b. Any questions on this one? All right, number 11. So this one's a little bit different, but I wouldn't say that it's really harder if you know what to do. What should I do first? What should I do first? So that cubed root is what's different. What do you think I could do with the cubed root? So taking the cubed root of something is like saying the 1/3 power. So I just changed that to be an exponent. Now it's the same exact thing that we just did before. So with the w and the u, I'm multiplying. So what goes with multiplication? Addition. So when I break it up, I add them. So I have log base 8 of w to the 3rd power plus, what comes next? Log base 8 u to the 1/3 power. And then what's the last thing I need to do? Move the exponents to the front. So here I have 3 log base 8w plus 1/3 log base 8u. So 12 we're dividing. What goes with division? Subtraction. So I start with log base 6 of 7 to the 5th power minus perfect. And then what's the last step? Move the exponents to the front. So 5 log base 6 of 7 minus 2 log base 6 of 2. Any questions here? All right, last one, 13. There's a couple different ways we can start 13. What would you suggest? What should I do first for number 13? I'm going to distribute the exponent of 5 to the x and to the y to the 3rd power. So when I have a power raised to a power, Kayla, what do I do to them? You just said it. Multiply. So I multiply 3 times 5, which would be 15. So now I have x to the 5th power and y to the 15th power. So that's the first step. Now what do I do? Before I do that, I want to break it up. So between the x to the 5th power and y to the 15th power, what's happening? And what do I do in between them? Add. Because here we're multiplying, so addition goes with multiplication. And then what's the last step? Then we bring our exponents to the front. Perfect. So it'll be 5 log base 8 of x plus 15 log base 8 of y.